All right, welcome back. This is it, the final piece of the puzzle in our look at the parenting plan. We've talked about building a predictable foundation, we've laid out the blueprint for scheduling, and now we're getting into the really big stuff, how you make major life decisions as a team, and the fundamental rights that are at the very heart of this whole thing. Let's get into it.
So, the schedule's all mapped out. You know who has the kids for which holiday, which weekend. But what happens when the really big questions pop up, like choosing a new school or a major healthcare decision? Who gets to make that call? This is exactly where the plan moves beyond just logistics and into a whole new kind of partnership.
You see, this parenting plan isn't just a calendar. You can almost think of it as the bylaws for a new company, your post-separation parenting team. It lays out a super clear framework for how these massive, life-changing decisions have to be made. And the key word here is jointly, not by one person, but together.
The plan zeroes in on these three specific, monumental areas of a child's life. I mean, these are the absolute pillars of their entire development, right? And the plan is crystal clear. Both parents must collaborate and come to an agreement on the path forward for every single one. And this is where the theory gets real. Based on Section 24 of the document, one parent can't just wake up one morning and decide, hey, I'm enrolling our kid in a new school today. Nope, that kind of solo move is completely off the table. It has to be a joint decision, period.
Okay, so if you have to agree, how in the world do you actually do that? Especially when things might be, well, a little tense. The great thing is, the plan doesn't just say, figure it out. It actually gives you a very specific roadmap for how to reach an agreement.
And check this out. It's a totally logical, structured approach. It all starts with a simple discussion. If you agree, great, you put it in writing. If you can't agree, the next step isn't to start a fight, it's to bring in a mediator. And only if all of that fails, does the court step in as the absolute last resort. It's like a ladder you climb toward resolution.
So let's talk about this idea of written consent, because it's a huge deal. We're not talking about a casual text message or a quick phone call. As the plan makes clear, this is a formal, documented agreement. It's a real safeguard to make sure both parents are officially on the record and 100% on board with a major life decision for their child. So, we've gone through the what and the how of making decisions, but honestly, this whole plan is built on something so much deeper, so much more powerful, a profound why. This is where we shift from looking at rules to understanding rights, because this entire process, every single clause, is there to protect the fundamental rights of the child. This line, taken right from Section 31, is, well, it's everything. It's the beating heart of this whole document. It completely reframes the conversation. Suddenly, it's not about what the parents want or what they think they deserve. It's about a child's basic inherent right to have a real relationship with both of the people who brought them into this world. And this slide just nails that shift in thinking. For a long, long time, custody was seen as a parent's privilege, right? Like a prize you could win. This plan just throws that whole idea out the window. It says, no, having a loving, meaningful relationship with both parents is the child's fundamental right. It's not something a parent can just grant or take away. So what does that right actually look like? Well, Section 31 breaks it down for us. It's the right to be cared for, the right to regular time, the right to open communication, and this is so important, the right to enjoy their full family culture and heritage from both sides. These are the core entitlements that this whole plan is designed to defend. Now, for a child's rights to actually be real, parents have to have the tools they need to do their job. So the plan also gives parents specific rights. But, and this is key, these aren't for leverage. They're the necessary tools to stay connected and be an involved parent. And this is just a critical distinction to make. The rights given to parents in this plan are not meant to be used as weapons against each other. They're tools. Tools designed for one single purpose: to build, maintain, and strengthen the parent-child relationship, which is always, always in the child's best interest. And just look at how practical and down-to-earth this gets. We're talking about things like daily phone calls, ensuring that letters and gifts aren't blocked or held back, having full, direct access to school reports and medical info. What this does is remove the other parent as a gatekeeper of information. It makes sure both parents are fully in the loop and actually empowered to co-parent effectively. But the plan's vision, it stretches even further than just the two parents. It really gets that a child's identity is this rich tapestry woven from a much, much larger family.
and it takes active steps to protect all of it.
I mean, just listen to this quote from Section 31. It's so incredibly forward-thinking. It's not just about today or tomorrow, it's about the long game. The plan is literally concerned with making sure that when this child grows up, they have a complete, unbroken connection to their history, their roots, and their entire family story.
So, the big takeaway here is that this isn't just about mom and dad. The plan explicitly recognizes how vital grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins are to a child's sense of who they are and where they belong. It actively protects those relationships, so a child doesn't feel like they've lost half their family in the process. At the end of the day, all these rules, all these rights, all these procedures, they really boil down to this one simple, incredibly powerful idea: to protect one complete family heritage, to make sure that child grows up feeling secure in who they are and where they come from.
And so, as we wrap this all up, it really leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Yes, this plan is a legal document, it's a set of rules you have to follow, but is that all it is? Or is it maybe something more? Is it a framework for making a profound promise to your child? A promise that says, no matter what happens between us, your right to be loved, supported, and connected to your entire family, that will always, always be protected.